I want to talk directly to the people who organize gang stalking. I know you thought it was a great idea, and on paper, it might have seemed like a good idea. Help out the families, get the people off of the streets. Have the ex-cons work off some of their fines, and the family pay for their fines. Church get their members back, and their church stay prosperous. Families happy. The family member may be an invalid, can't think straight, but they're back. As long as they're back. Excuse me, guys, I have a cold and an earache, but I gotta get this off my chest. I heard today that what was used on me was extreme military training techniques. I can go for that. It felt like prisoner of war type shit. Yep. What you do to your POWs, not to our POWs, but the ones you capture in the United States. I spoke about one of the techniques that just turned my stomach, and how it just, the sedition behind it, the enjoyment of the person administering the training, if that's what you want to call it, training. One that you don't really ever hear about, because you just think that the means to an end is worth everything. It's not. The mindfuckery that still goes on even after you're not gang stalking a person. The lies that continue. The mere fact that a person don't know, because the families are going to hold that shit forever until their grave. You don't understand the mindfuckery. I'm going to try to take you in there. I'm going to give you a simulated experience, one that you're very familiar with. I can't remember the name of the case study, but it was about 1950s, 60s maybe, where an experiment was done on the cruelty or the nature. I saw this on, I think it was on the ID channel, when it was talking about America's, or how the type of serial killers and the type of nature and type of crime they have. And so he had it like in different degrees. But he spoke about this thing, a study that was done, and they took just normal everyday Americans and then put them behind a dial, and they would have them ask somebody on the other side of the window, which was an actor. They didn't know that though. If ask him a question, if he got the question wrong, then they turn it up, and they were very shocked about how high somebody would torture somebody just because they got a question wrong. I want you to imagine that it was an actor, and that dial was not fake. Imagine it was real. And that person was getting electric shock every time they got a question wrong. You can sense the question is getting harder just because the person asking the question enjoyed them getting it wrong. So they wanted the harder questions because they wanted a chance, an opportunity to go higher on the dial. Imagine that. Now I want you to imagine coming out of that room after you've been charred, for lack of a better word, from being stung. Constant. By something that's supposed to be like you. And the guard said to you, do you want to meet your punishers? You say, yeah. Someone asked him, why did they enjoy this so much? Sure, let me meet my punishers. And you walk in that room. You see your mother. You see your father. You see your children of all ages, your grandchildren. You see all your relatives. And that's going to be a look on their faces and a feeling in your heart you'll never forget. You can't erase it out of your mind. And then they tell you, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I didn't do it. We came to pick you up. We came to help you. Every day after that, if you stay around your family, you just accept what they tell you. As they're rolling away in your brain, of your psyche, of your mental abilities. And you're just trying to decipher how could you have been so wrong. But then there's no other explanation. They all fit the puzzle. They were right there. They were there when the man asked you, did you want to see your punishers? They were right there. I was like God asking me, did I want to know? I want to know God. And He showed me. He showed me my family. And no one else. No one else. I mean, of course, the other people that was, right along with him, but they were the ringleaders. They were the orchestrators of the whole event. Never at a time you think about it, you look at your scars, you feel your emotional scars. There's never a time you don't connect who was behind that decision, who was behind that scar, who did that, what were they thinking, why did they enjoy it so much, because you felt it. Why would a family enjoy torturing you so much? You just wonder what did you become, not you. You become something that you just test. To this second, the abuse and the mental torture is ongoing because you don't have the truth. I wouldn't be surprised later down the line I would snap if I said around my family. You defeated your purpose. At least with me you did. I'd be better off erasing any memory of my family than to try to cope with it. It's the lie. So walk away. and never see any of them ever again. That's the only way to detach yourself from the pain. And you guys you tell the family such bullshit. Oh, that wasn't real. It was simulated. They're just on drugs and they're mocking that shit. No. I'm proof that it's not true. It's not true. God help me survive this with some sense of sanity, so I can show you what you're doing is not right to people. And then you do it in God's name, saying, oh, we're trying to save our lost sheep, we're trying to gather our lost sheep, we're trying to get our family member. Oh, we had good intentions. That's not going to get you saved. That's not going to be an explanation when you stand before God. Why did you torture that girl like that? What? I've heard the military say, or that it was said, this is just kind of down the line. Only you, the military, will know if it's true or not. It's unprecedented. The measure in which I was gang stalked and tortured. It's unprecedented. And lived, of course, because most of them are dead. You know, they didn't get long enough through the process because they died. They're just thrown away. Died of what? Drug overdose, aneurysm, heart attack, your typical, MK Ultra, push the button, kill them. Get rid of them. They throw away. All tests you do this to study on people. Just because they're homeless, use drugs, it qualifies them to be your social guinea pig without their knowledge. How are you any different from Hitler? How are you? I've heard people say I'm lying. I'm not homeless. I'm just out here, just perpetrating and lying to the American public. To get what? Just more shame on my name? I don't think so. And none of the things that happened to me happened. Is that how you appease the family? Is that how you appease the family? No. And I know for a fact, because all the time that I was supposed to be brought in and never brought in, after the end of cycles, I guess, the family just was having so much enjoyment torturing me, so they just kept me in. I don't know why I was kept in, but, that's what the game was to you guys, game. There was going to be, social workers there, caseworkers, people to counsel, to help bring the family together, and, and the intervention round table. My daughter told me early on, even before this all happened, I need to sit down in the middle of a room and answer everyone's questions. Explain where I've been spending my money. What is wrong with me? I owed them an intervention. Since I didn't give it to them, I guess they decided to give me an extreme intervention. And that's what I had. To the human mental extreme possible. And would still be going to it right now. if I was not recording live. This time it might have killed me. After almost 4 years in here, yeah, it might have killed me. Lots of blood, having anemia, having the strength to fight. So I got a cold. First time. The whole time I've been on here. The cold. Immune system going down. So, why do you, military, believe that people should just be able to come back in, or churches too, because all have the churches too. Why do you believe that people are just supposed to go through all this type of abuse and then come back in and just be like, oh, ain't nothing wrong? Why do y'all believe that? Why do you feel that you, throughout the whole process, you're trying to use all your little technologies and play with all your little gadgets and latest technology shit to see what works? What could be a more effective way of doing this thing? Whether it's putting shit in the food or subliminal shit around in the environment. People in wheelchairs playing loud music like they jamming. Like people like that, yeah. So obvious shit. So obvious. Your vets do not come back from the military with their minds fixed. And nor do you invest in them to correct the damage you did. For them to endure what the fuck they saw and then actually see the shit. What is it to you to fuck up people so bad? They're vegetables. They're zombies. What is it to you? I'm kidding. My daughter was regurgitating information that obviously she had to have heard from your program trainers or counselors or social workers or something or whatever you do to help support the families. You sure don't do that to help support the victims. But whatever you do to them, because I could tell, her rhetoric was not something that was nothing that went along in the family. It sounded like if the family went to some drug counseling place to say, what can we do to get our mom back, this, that, the other, and they had to go to, codependency, counseling too. And all this rhetoric just sounded just like that. And so when he made a comment, she said, Mommy, those people don't love you, and they just want to feed your drugs and they just want you to stay there with them. How I know that was rhetoric? Because, I have attended, the AA meetings before, and I know that there are certain people they couldn't leave their friends, they missed their friends, and they had to miss the good times or whatever. That was not my experience, and nor did I ever say I wanted to fucking stay out here, and nor did I speak fondly of not one single person besides Michelle. One single person, Michelle. Only person I've ever spoke fondly about. She wasn't really on the street, so she was working a job, and she's got a place. So my children never heard me. They never even heard me really explain what my experience was like. That was another telltale sign. I couldn't imagine my mother. I'm not speaking to. And she's out on the streets. that when I got with her, I would say, Mommy, tell me everything. What was it like? When I speak, shut it down, shut it down. Don't engage, just listen. Oh, okay. Or if they are going to engage, it's defense, attackers. It's not them trying to hear me. And I believe they were trained to do that. Do not empathize, do not sympathize, do not engage, don't act like you care or anything. You got to use this cold-hearted military tough love shit. You destroyed a family with that cold-hearted military tough love shit. And I might be opposed to y'all for how you destroyed families completely who volunteered to go into the military. I don't know. I was never in the military, so I don't know. Not good. Not good. So, I hope you can go to bed with that thought. Take some time and meditate on that. It might help. You could do that. Really sit with that emotion. Visualize it. Get a pen. Stick yourself. Just so you can make sure that you really get a close sensation of pain. Some sense of pain. Or have somebody in your family do it. For real. Okay. I bet you probably couldn't stand more than 2 or 3 minutes of it. I bet you couldn't. Try 3.5 years. And yes, it is my choice to be where I'm at. Because the alternative would cause my mind to snap. And I'd be in the crazy house where everybody wanted me. I'm not going to live a lie. You've convinced my family to live a lie. You've dimmed them to death because God ain't going to let them into paradise with that lie. And you can't tell me anything or show or prove anything to prove it otherwise. You'll have to confess the lie. My children had divine inheritance. I worked hard to make sure they had that. I never told them anything about their father. I didn't want to rob them of the ability to honor your father and mother so you can live a long time on the earth and things will go well with you. First commandment was a promise. My children heard that and heard that their whole life. And you allow the demon motherfucker to come in here and rip that from them. They don't have the privilege of that inheritance because of your bright ideas. They don't have the privilege of it. Unless they earn it back. But right now, as it stands, no, they don't got it. Your program supposedly taking them back to the church or getting somebody back to a spiritual covenant or protection, it's actually killing people spiritually. What? You turn them into vegetables here, and they're just gonna die away. The whole family goes down. It's cursed. And one thing about what God say, I cannot go against my covenant. Everything that I accept has to be according to the way I say it has to be. Because it's mine. It's my paradise. If I want to let you in, you got to follow my rules. I don't give a flying fuck what you do over there in the devil's den. But if you're going to come over here, I need you to do things the way I say to. You don't get to make the rules for me. You don't get to say because you got so smart or you got evolved that you get to change the fucking rules. You don't. And he said liars, practicers of lies, are not going to inherit his kingdom. Now, how you gonna change? It's plain and simple. That's what he said. People's asking about how do you shift from Christianity to spirituality. But one, you have to understand you're not gonna get rid of Christ. Christ is still part of spirituality. But it's that paradigm shift of saying, when he said to me, baby, that's still my word. It's still true. It's still the truth. Now, if you guys decided you want to interpret that bitch wrong, then that's on y'all. Prime example. God created the heavens and earth. On the seventh day, he rested. I said, what the fuck about the seventh day? Don't y'all get that I'm rested? I'm resting. You're doing this. You're blessing yourself, and you're cursing your own self. I'm not doing anything. I'm just here to love you and get to nurture you and educate you. But I'm resting. You took over my job and created. I wanted to see what you was going to do in that day. I mean, could you outdo me? Or not? I mean, when the 8th day comes, I might have to sit y'all back down and show y'all how to do this again and teach you all over. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen on the 8th day. But right now, he is just sitting back, laughing, surprised. But that's what he says. I wake up every day, and I'm always pleasantly surprised to see what new my babies have done. He gave us all the tools he used. Wind, water, fire, Jesus. Earth. All of them. So go forth. You're abundant. United States government, military. I don't know if that's going to do anything. But that's my story. Yes. Someone to heal their old childhood wounds. But you're creating new ones. What sense does that make? Okay, get rid of those old ones because we about to pile on some adult-sized wounds that you'll never get rid of. Never. Because we're not going to give you the tools to get rid of it. I'm going to scar you for life. That's what you're doing. You're robbing them of the ability. One major agreement, major tool to manifest a better life. And she begins with family. Family is essential as food, clothing, and shelter. And you want survival. And you've taken it. You've taken it away from them. Even if they're sitting right there or locked up in some hospital somewhere because you drove them crazy. You took it away. And if there was ever a crime against humanity that required the governments to take a look at themselves and take a step back and say, we need to rectify this. We need to rectify it. Because in the scheme of this is why you have the narcissist. Because if I was having children right now, and I was so scarred, knowing what my children were capable of doing, you understand how there would be, I'm not going to get so attached to this one because I'm afraid it could grow up to hurt me the way I was hurt. They know your good intentions are not going to qualify. Healing Only the truth. Truth has an energy, an energetic blessing component to it. When it's told and the soul recognizes it, resonates with it, only then can healing begin. And your fake ass ways of trying to heal is not going to work. It's not. Because it's not the truth. It's all, you can sit there and condition the brain, don't think about it, don't think about it, don't think about it, and then you forgive, you're free. That's bullshit. That's why people should always have those wounds, childhood wounds, adulthood wounds, all kind of wounds. Because that shit don't work. Only thing that really works is that no matter how bad the fucking truth is, as long as it's told to the degree that the person is satisfied. Mind book goes on and on and on and on, as long as the person never gets the truth. And don't you understand the narcissists that you employ to do these type of tactics on American citizens? Oh boy, long after the program shuts down, they can pull on those cords and get their narcissist in line. You military churches have signed a program that just puts a narcissist in a fucking buffet. When my family intervened, 2018, I was $1,000 away from opening up my second business. You know what? Like I said, I know there was a lot of lies to them. What a person chooses to invest their money into in their time should dispel anything that opposes that. All the businesses I've ever invested in or took interest in that I created, it's all about caring about people. The Millennial Project. I mean, I can understand now why, my children were so detached when I was going to do the Millennium Project, because the Millennium Project would have took off. Oh my gosh, everything they would have told y'all would have been like smashed that year, because that shit was about to blow up. But it was giving the millennials an opportunity to prove whether they were entitled, worthless pieces of shit that everybody think they are, or as I believed, they populated the largest amount of geniuses in one generation human history has ever seen. And we threw them away. We didn't pay attention to it. We could have learned a lot. And I believe the Millennial Project would have taught that and would have opened up marketplaces and different ways of approaching things. Kind of like this situation. Everybody says, start, we're going to do it this way, we're going to do it this way, and if she's my property, I can get the beat her, drag her, if I want to, because she's just a mule, she's an ass, so we can just do what the fuck we want to her. She's an animal. She's not a human being. She's property. She's an investment. She's shit. People couldn't understand why I needed this so bad. Why did I need to know? Why did you just follow the line, just break, Do what everybody has a breaking point. Do what they tell you to do. My breaking point is death. As long as I got a cognizant thought in my mind, there's never going to be a second I will exist living your lives. My integrity. No, I'm not going to do it. Fuck would anybody do it anyway? Like, what the hell? I mean, maybe if you guys spoke what you're deciding to do out, not act, but out, and say, hey, is this a good idea? And maybe because 90% of you probably are narcissists, so then you probably don't understand what I'm about to say. But maybe if you heard it said by someone else, say it and then say, hey, say that back to me. How does that sound? Does that sound logical? Does that sound sensible? Would a normal human being receive this? Because I don't have the ability to sense it. I get it. Which was going to be my next business since they fucked up the other one. My dad said to me, I really don't care. I just pretend. Because I know I'm supposed to. And I heard, I really don't care. I pretend like I do. I wish I could. I knew. All the studies show narcissism is a deformity. It's not something they have a choice to do. So there's no way to repair it. If it didn't happen in the first formative years, it's not going to ever happen. They'll never develop that neuron connecting left brain and right brain, giving them the ability to have compassion, sensitivity, and understanding of anything outside of their own emotions and feelings. Basically, what you're saying is that narcissists can't feel vibration. That's what you're saying. They can't feel energy. They walk around imitation. I'm very the best imitators ever. Let's be honest. And I said, if I can help it, I'm going to try to fix it. Because I saw in his eyes the pain. Even though he did some really harmful things to me, I know what happened to him as a child. It's not his fault. What can you do? You know? It's like telling a blind man and punching a blind man for not being able to tell you what color that is. Passing a red light. He didn't know it was red. Can't give him a ticket. He's blind. New sound. If vibration is what they can't feel, then vibration is what it will take to fix it. How can we create enough energy, which I know government, you do know this, but my theory is how can we create enough energy to heal that and to create something that would happen even if they didn't want it or didn't know they wanted it or believed the technique. You take all the best healing arts techniques that have been proven to be effective independently, you combine them into one program. And you get it to operate on autopilot. And I was going to work on that next. I was in a metaphysical studio. Couldn't figure out how I was going to put hair with that. All that I started, okay, we're going to use energy with sound and frequency to help the hair to go. So it's feel better. I came up with my own new business, which was holistic hair and skin care. Combining medical doctors, holistic medical doctors, with cosmetology. Bring the cosmetology industry up to a more reputable business. Where we would only deal with the repairing and restructuring of damaged hair and skin through and their well-being. All and then out to maintain that. How I manifest when I was working in Scottsdale, I just knew I was just 4 people away from meeting the person that would invest in that market. I worked in Scottsdale for that purpose, so that I could meet that person that was going to invest in that business, build it, get it structured, franchise that bitch all around the country. Holistic hair, skin cleanse. We would have all the products. We would always be up to date on new state-of-the-art training. It would all be consistent. You know, like McDonald's. Very consistent, no matter where you go in the world. That's when they came back in and did some more shit. And that's when I became homeless, because they came in heavy. Like gangbusters. Just like they did when I was homeless then. And that's why I had to put it on video, because if I hadn't done that shit, I don't know if I would be standing here alive. I don't know. Because they came in hard. I was like, nah. What you're doing is so legit and so good and so beneficial. It should not be a problem to publicize it. Now, should it? America. Churches. Family. Why sneak if it's so fucking beneficial? Why lie if it's so fucking beneficial? You ain't got to say that you was trying to gather for the last days. Just use drugs alone. That would have been good enough. Because of all the violence, all the perversion, and all the witchcraft that you do inside. That's why you're lying. And all what the government use. Since you're going to do that, well, we're going to get to do some test studies on them. Yeah, we're going to use them for case studies. Yeah, right. Now, it's no wonder. You know, all kind of marketplaces. You know, people want to test out their hair care products. I don't want to have to pay for a lab. You know, so let's go throw some of that product into a homeless shelter's bag and let's see, you know, how that population do. If nobody breaks out, we're good. I mean, hell, who knows how y'all do this shit? But, or what else, or to what extent y'all allow the marketplace to come in and experiment on homeless people. Or people. It's terrible. So don't think because I'm not being harassed and cars ain't going all in my background now, then I'm just okay. Because that's it. I mean, on top of what that shit does, only because I understand about front sound, I can't imagine how it has already fucked up a lot of people who don't know how to use your own energy to block other frequencies from getting in. So, I mean, with that alone, just because that's not happening, don't mean okay. My family stood right here in front of me with hugs and kisses and everything, money, whatever. Okay. Lord, how that fucked up my family was. It was our fucked up family. We held each other accountable for different reasons, in different ways. Pretty much like you did with your family. And that's gone. The innocence of that is gone. I mean, it kept a bunch of secrets from me. Eventually, it's gonna have to come out, and everybody's gonna have to deal with that fucked up shit. You don't have to kill a person for it. What secret's so bad that you kill a person rather than say it? That you lose your life. You'd rather die than say it. You rob every family from having the chance to have the energetic, divine gift of healing. And that poison goes around generations after generation. My daughter's poisoning her baby. But all that guilt, lies, deceit. And she has to constantly remind herself every day it's okay and it's for a good purpose. If I stayed around, I'd have to watch each one of my family members crash and burn from the breakdown of the lie. I can't watch anymore. I can't watch that anymore. Because I know what's going to happen. It's going to eat them up. It's poison. That's why the truth heals. No matter how bad it is. It's on the way. No matter money you throw on top of this, no matter how many long big dicks you throw in my face, Adonis men, they ain't what made me. I'm a mother, a wife, a child. I was Christian. I belonged to a family. I don't belong anymore. How come you don't get that? What makes it okay? You want to clean up blood and guts up along the streets during tribulation? Tell somebody that shit. Oh my God, you know what? I'm going to find you. If your ass is out here during tribulation, I'm going to find you if I have to clean up your blood and guts. Something. I think I'll leave it there. I think you get the picture. At least I hope so. Not just one case. Every case. Every single case. You gang stalked. Not a special case. I'm just a little case that I made. Sure you heard. And who else couldn't? Some people trying to. But I'm blessed. Blessed. He's got me here to tell you. When my job is done, I told you. Okay. Go ahead. Thank you guys for listening.
sleeping.